Shalawama, I'm Dr. Yasapa. We will begin our astrotheology presentation shortly. Let's give it a minute, let a few people come in. This is number 32. This is number 32. Okay, number 30. Is it 31 or 32, y'all? I don't remember. But whatever it is, we're doing it. We are doing it today, whatever it is. All right. So let's go ahead and get everything set up. I'm going to give it a minute so that we can give some people a chance to see that we have started and come in. All right. So let's just give it a minute and we'll begin. So I hope you all were able to be here for the presentation we did earlier today, about an hour or two ago. I'm late because I got locked out. But the management is good here and they got me right back in. I'm just now getting back in. So it's pretty good. You know, it's good management here. So we give it a second, then we're going to get started. I hope everyone enjoyed what we did earlier. Video, I forgot the name of the video. Let me check to see what was the name of the video. Hold on. Well, it doesn't matter. This is a whole different video. So let's see. Okay, it was called Astrotheology, More Evidence That the Jews Are Not Yasharallah. If you haven't, if you haven't watched that, go back and watch that video. That is a very important video, I must say. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. And make sure you watch all of the videos that are mentioned and brought to your attention. In that last video, we did that today. Okay, we did it today. All right. So we are going to begin on page 185. In fact, let me close this out, y'all, and then I'm going to get started. So we'll be fresh, right? So we'll be fresh in 1 second. Let me pull it up. So of course, this is the Devil's Pulpit, the book not written, but a compilations of sermons given by the Reverend Robert Taylor in 1810, 1820, 1830s, during that time period. So these are very old, and they were compiled into book form and published in 1857. I repeat this same information every class because I want everybody to know it. The title is called The Devil's Pulpit because the author, or the Reverend Robert Taylor, gave away secret society secrets as to the origins of the Gospels, primarily the Gospels, but according to him, he says the whole Bible. Okay, he gave away these secrets. His conscience was bothering him, is the way I understand it. And so he started to tell that the Gospels actually, I remember he said the whole Bible. I think that might be what he said. It's in here. You have to go back and read it. But he makes very little reference to the Old Testament. And what he does reference in the Old Testament, it's not a lot of, he doesn't have a lot of data points, okay? But you have to go through it yourself and so you can see for yourself and make your own decision. So let me share. The highlighted portion, excuse me, hold on. I'm eating something spicy I haven't eaten. It's my first time having a chance to eat. And it's really spicy. Give me a second. All right, page 185. Page 185. The highlight is what we discussed in the video we did about an hour ago that I just mentioned. But as a matter of fact, let us go ahead and begin, okay? Page 185. Oh, hold on. We'll go ahead and begin. Where's my book? Oh. So this book, again, The Devil's Pulpit by Reverend Robert Taylor, is available as a free download on the internet. So make sure you download it. Get it while you can. This is, whether you agree with his argument, his claims, doesn't matter. This book will cause you to think. Use your brain and think about things in a way that, well, it's caused me to think, and others who I've talked to think about things in a very different way, ways that I actually have not thought about them before. So we're going to start at the top. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to our channel. Also on Facebook, Yasapa Yasapa. On LinkedIn at, I think it's Zion Law School, or Yasapa Bay. Yasapa Bay, B-E-Y, on LinkedIn. And then on Twitter, Zion Law School. So make sure you subscribe and share and like the video. That really helps us, right? And if you stay and you listen, it's the least you can do. You know what I'm saying? All right. And what happens is that the law of compensation is squarely behind you. That is to say, behind you, working for you, instead of working against you. Because if you get something that's value and you don't give anything, the law of compensation will eventually cause you to have to pay for that, right? Okay, because everything has to be equal or greater exchange. Okay, that's just the universal law. All right, so we're going to start where the highlight is. As Didymaeus or Didymus was a synonymous name of the Grecian Apollo, so Thomas was the perfect synonym of the Phoenician Adonis. Y'all hear that? The Phoenician Adonis. As each name traced to its primitive roots most clearly demonstrated, AD, the capital L-O-R-D, on, O-N, means the being, I-S means the fire. So Adonis, A-D means the capital L-O-R-D, O-N means the being, B-E-I-N-G, and Is means the fire, that is the capital L-O-R-D, the one, the fire, that is the sun, S-U-N. In the pagan fable, believed to be the son, S-O-N, of the Virgin Mira by her own father, Sinrus. So that's the Adonis. I guess they're talking about the pagan fable. Okay, in the Christian fable, believed to be the son, S-O-N, of the Virgin Mary by her own, capital G-O-D, worshipped by the demi-humanized orang-outans, whom we call Jews to this day, under the name Adonai. Y'all see the parallels in the story? Adonai, Adonis, right? The name of the deity. In the Christian story, it's the son of the Virgin Mary. In the pagan story, is the son of the Virgin Myra, all right, by her own father. Okay, so when the author talks about the disgusting bad morals of Christians, he's referring to things like what we're talking about now. Okay, that's the kind of things that he's talking about. These pagan parallel stories are quite disgusting in their nature. And according to the author, these stories are, again, parallels in the Christian story. Now, I'm going to read this again, just so if you have not watched the video that we did a couple hours ago, you go back and watch it. I'm going to read the paragraph again. Worship by the demi-humanized orangutans, whom we call Jews to this day, under the name Adonai, which they always substitute in the place of the name Yahuwah or Yahoo, which we pronounce Jehovah. All right, today they pronounce it as Yahuwah. Worshipped by the savage hordes, worshipped by the savage hordes from whom the Jews believed themselves to be descended. Did y'all get that? Worshipped by the savage hordes whom the Jews believed themselves to be descended under the name of Tammuz, excuse me, Tammuz, Tammuz, from the days of an indefinitely remote antiquity. In other words, from a long time ago. All right, now let's read the footnote. Tammuz, abstruse, concealed. That's according to Cruden. Okay, let's continue. The name Thomas, we're talking about doubting Thomas. The name Thomas being compounded of the two Ammonian primitives, Tom, wonderful, whence the Greeks formed their word, and we see the Greek word there, which means a miracle, sign, or wonder. So we see some similarity, right? Wonderful, miracle, sign, wonder. And we see this biblical Hebrew word that means fire. The whole together literally expressing, quote, the wonderful fire, end quote. That is the sun, S-U-N. All right, so Thomas is composed again of two primitive roots, Tom, T-H-O-M, and wonderful, that correlates with the Greek word that's cited here, which means miracle, sign, wonder. All right. And with this two pictograph biblical Hebrew word, which means fire, the whole together literally means the wonderful fire, which is the sun, S-U-N. The name hell, H-E-L-L, or hellfire, H-E-L-L, and then fire, F-I-R-E, is directly formed from the Hebrew, and we see the biblical Hebrew two pictograph word here, il, it's spelled E, capital E, lowercase L, E-E-L. Or what does it mean? Capital G-O-D. Whence the Greeks formed their name. Now let's look at the footnote. The name of hell or hellfire is but another reading of the name Thomas. Understand, the name hell, the name hell, the name. Is he talking about a name or a place? A name and a place are two different things. Is that correct? But anyway, let's look at it. And the name of hell or hellfire is but another reading of the name Thomas, T-H-O-M-A-S. That is the wonderful fire. So hell or hellfire means the wonderful fire, which means Thomas, T-H-O-M-A-S. Whence the universal association of the names Hell and Tommy. So this must have been something popular during his day, Hell and Tommy. I don't know how Hell and Tommy are associated, But scholars in the scholars listening, if you can, do everyone a favor and Google search Hell and Tommy, and then paste it in the comments so everybody can know. They are perfectly synonymous, okay? And then we see the two pictograph, modern biblical Hebrew word, which means heel, H-E-E-L, capital H-E-E-L, the Hebrew name of capital G-O-D, forming the basis of this Greek word here, the Greek name of the sun. Y'all got that? They're perfectly synonymous with this biblical Hebrew word spelled H-E-E-L, the Hebrew name of capital G-O-D. Now, use your brain. Is capital G-O-D a name or a title? Use your brain. Is capital G-O-D a name or a title? Remember, we're being critical, analytical thinking, asking questions. Understand? Let's continue. So H-E-E-L, the Hebrew name of capital G-O-D, forming the basis of the Greek word. We see it here. Make the connection, scholars, make the connection. The Greek name of the sun, S-U-N, and passing over by metonymy to the name of the fish called the eel, E-E-L, or water snake, which by putting its tail into its mouth was the universal emblem of eternity of the sun. So the infinity sign looks like a sideways number 8, that infinity sign. According to the author, it references the eternity of the sun. So was the sun really ever created? Like they say in modern science, will the sun ever really burn out, like they say in modern science? Or does the sun not have a beginning and it doesn't have an end? In other words, has the sun always been? Right? Think about that. Think. Let's continue. Note, y'all, note, the author is equating the Hebrew God, capital G-O-D, with the Greek name of the sun, S-U-N, right? Note, why? That's the question, why? Why is the author telling us this? Let's continue. By its remarkable tenacity of life, was the emblem of the immortality of the sun. So the ancients knew, they believed, they either knew or they believed, right? Which one was it? You make your mind up. Knowing and believing are two very different things. That the sun is immortal. If it is immortal, that means what? It has no end, right? It has no end. But anyway, let's continue. By its possession, that's by the sun's possession of its energies, by the energies of the sun, without any limb or, let me turn this, y'all, or die of the sun, Helios. And Hebrews took back again what they had lent in their name of the prophet, who went up in his fiery chariot, Elias. He's referring to E-L-L, right? The water snake, the infinity sign, the number 8 turned on its side, the immortality of the sun, S-U-N, and Elias went on his fiery chariot. All right, so was that fiery chariot the sun? Okay, good question, right? Good question. All right, let's continue. Nor is there any truth in which the learned are more entirely agreed than that Tammuz and Adonis are one and the same deity. So Tammuz and Adonis are the same deity. Y'all got that? Tammuz and Adonis are the same deity. All right, the Jews worship Tammuz. Okay, if we look back on page 185, it says, worship by the savage hordes from whom the Jews believe themselves to be descended under the name of Tammuz from the days of an infinitely remote antiquity. Now let's continue. All right, so Tammuz and Adonis are the same deity. That is, synonymous names of the same deity, namely the sun, S-U-N, in the month of June. Adonis and Tammuz are the same names of the same deity. What deity? The deity is the sun, S-U-N, in the month of June, of which Milton so beautifully sings in his first book of Paradise Lost. Quote, Tammuz came next behind, whose annual wound in Lebanon allured the Syrian damsels to lament his fate. In amorous deities all a summer's day, while smooth Adonis from his native rock ran purple to the sea, supposed with blood of Tammuz yearly wounded. The love tale infected Sion's daughters with like heat, whose wanton passions in the sacred porch Ezekiel saw. When the vision led, his eyes surveyed the dark idolatries of alienated Judah. I think the point here is that he's mentioning Adonis and Tammuz, right? Let's continue. That love tale, which the Syrian damsels sung, quote, in amorous deities, all a summer's day, the sun in June, right? Summer's day, the sun in June, was none other than that self same vision of its body, the emblem of him who peculiarly hath life in himself. That would be Christ, Christ figure, right? And by its silent or peculiar progress, the emblem of the sun's S-U-N apparent motion in the zodiac. All right, clear. The sun's motion in the zodiac would be how it goes from one zodiac sign to the next, right? Each month it goes into a new zodiac sign, right? And it repeats the whole cycle, year in, year out. And of the whole solar system together through infinite space, and by analogy transferred to the heel, again, the heel, H-E-E-L. Y'all remember what the heel was, right? Go back to page 185. The heel, we see the biblical Hebrew word spelled in English, H-E-E-L. That is the Hebrew name of capital G-O-D. But again, remember, capital G-O-D is not a name. It is a title. All right. So I disagree with the author on that, but I understand what he's saying. Let's continue. And by analogy, transferred to the heel as the lower part of the human body. Very interesting, right? Why would the Jewish deity be named heel? Of course, it's two different languages, right? But I'm going along with the author's reasoning. Why would it be H-E-E-L, which is the heel, the lower part of the body, of the human body, right? So why is that? Let's see what he's going to say about that. All right, so let's see. It says, and by analogy transferred to the heel as the lower part of the human body in the microcosm of man as the point of hell, H-E-L-L, and Tommy in the zodiac, is the sun's lowest place of declination, on the 21st of December. So, so the lowest point on a man's body would be his heel. All right, Heel. And the sun's lowest point in the celestial globe is found on December 21st, which is the declination, right? The declination. So that's the analogy. All right, let's continue. And here, that is on December 21st, and on December 21st breaks in upon us the light of a significancy and a meaning, where otherwise I defy the wit of man, to find any meaning at all of these words in the 49th Psalm. Quote, wherefore should I fear in the days of evil, when the iniquity of my heels, Heels, compasseth me round about. Let me read it again. This is the 49th Psalm. Quote, wherefore should I fear in the days of evil? Now remember, December 21st and 22nd, the sun is at its lowest point in the sky, and this is equated to evil, wickedness, Satan the devil, the bottomless pit, okay, in astrotheology. Wherefore should I fear in the days of evil? That's in the days of winter, right? December 21st through the 24th. When the inequity of my heels, Heels, compasseth me round about, end quote. In the name of capital God, now what sort of inequity is it that a man could commit with his heels? Good question. Or how could the inequity of his heels compass about him? Morally, the thing is an absurdity. I agree with that. So y'all see what the author is saying? The author is saying, if you take this literally, it makes absolutely no sense at all. Okay, that's the author's point. Literally, it makes no sense at all. Morally, it makes no sense at all. The only way it makes sense is if you understand it astrotheologically, meaning that the sun is at its lowest point in the sky, December 21st, 22nd through the 21st, right? And that is Satan the devil. Astrologically, that's Satan the devil. That is wickedness. That is evil. That is the bottomless pit. This is the author's point. And Heel is the Jewish people's deity. All right, so let me read that quote from the 49th Psalm again. Make your own decision. Make your own decision as to whether or not the author is giving sufficient evidence to make his point, or whether or not you think his point is valid here. The 49th Psalm, quote, wherefore should I fear in the days of evil? Wherefore shall I fear in December, between December 21st through the 22nd, or 24th, however far you want to extend out. Wherefore should I fear in the days of December 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, when the inequity of my heels compass me round about? That makes absolutely no sense, literally, and it makes no moral sense. So the author is saying it only makes sense astrotheologically. He continues, in the name of capital God, now, what sort of inequity is it that a man could commit with his heels? If y'all can think of some type of inequity that you can commit with your heels, other than maybe you roundhouse somebody, right? Or you sidekick somebody with your heels. But what else could you do? Or how could the inequity of his heels compass him about? Good question. And I don't see an answer to that. Morally, the thing is an absurdity. Historically, it is an impossibility. Y'all got that? Morally, it's absurd. Historically, it's impossible. But astrotheologically, quote, the days of evil are the short days of deep winter. That would be December 21st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. I'm sorry, December 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th. Morally, the thing is an absurdity. Historically, it is an impossibility. But astrotheologically, quote, the days of evil, end quote, are the short days of deep winter, meaning to say the number of sunlight hours are minimum, the fewest in the year. All right, the fewest number of daylight hours in the year. Okay, so the days of evil are the short days of deep winter. And then it is that the heels of the sun, S-U-N, in its annual walk, stick fast in the deep tail, which we now call gospel, and which was denounced as the grossest idolatry by the Jewish capital G-O-D 594 years before it acquired the name of Christianity. Let's go back and look at that. Note, it says here, the sun's heels. So the sun is being personified or anthropomorphized as having heels and walking into the next year. Y'all got it? The sun's annual walk, you walk on your heels. Okay, and then it is the heels of the sun, S-U-N, in his or in its annual walk, stick fast in the deep tail. All right. So the sun, in other words, the sun is all throughout the Gospels. That's what he's saying. Sticks fast in the deep tail, which we now call gospel, and which was denounced as the grossest idolatry by the Jewish capital G-O-D 594 years before it acquired the name of Christianity. It was the tale of the suffering Savior, the crucified capital G-O-D, poor Tommy, denounced as an inexcredible abomination, though carried on as a religious worship, even in the temple of the Tetragrammaton himself, as you read in the 8th of Ezekiel, verse 14, quote, then he brought me to the door of the capital Lord's house, which was toward the north, and behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz. Scholars, you will remember that Tammuz is Thomas, the Apostle Thomas. The Latin Vulgate has given us the name of Adonis as a direct translation of the word Thomas. Again, the Latin Vulgate directly translates Adonis as Thomas. And then he has the quote in Latin here, okay, which I'm not going to read because I don't know how to pronounce it. The Greek of the Septuagint has it, and then he has the quote here in the Greek text. And the Hebrew text is, and he has the text in the biblical Hebrew text here, all right? That tale or story of poor Tom, or Tommy, or Thomas, or Adonis was the same as the story of Jesus Christ. So y'all, when we see Jesus Christ, I'm just going to say JC from now on, okay? Or when we see Jesus, I'm just going to say JC. I have shown most fully in my work on the origin and history of the Christian religion, entitled The Diegesis, to which I can only refer the more curious inquirer, resting here on the pretty sufficient evidence. Y'all got that? So go out and get the Diegesis if you can find it. All right. It deals with the origin and history of the Christian religion. First, the names are in some instances the very same. Two, the significance or meaning of the names is in every instance the same. All right, y'all got that. The names are the very same, the names are the same, and their meanings are the same in every instance. The doctrines are the very same. The forms and words of worship are the very same. And if, with such evidence of sameness between the ancient paganism and the modern paganism, which is now called Christianity, the author is here telling us that ancient paganism is modern paganism. They are both one and the same. They are both Christianity. Christianity is paganism. Let's continue. There ever was a real substantive and essential difference. The man is yet unborn whose wit or whose learning could point out and what that difference consisted. In other words, there's no man alive that can show any evidence at all that Christianity is not pagan and that the pagan stories that were used to build Christianity are not pagan. All right. So very, very interesting stuff, right? Very interesting. All right. So let me see. Is this the last page or do we have more? So I think we're going to stop here. Keep the video short. All right, y'all. I'm Dr. Yasapa. Make sure y'all subscribe to 101 Ancient Ibriath. All right. On zionlawschool.org. Make sure you subscribe. Also, make sure you show up every Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for 506 The Curses course, where we do a deep dive into the etymological meaning and morphology of every word in Deuteronomy chapter 28, 15 through 29. Make sure you come, join us. It's not going to cost you anything. The links to register are in the description area of this video. The links for the 101 Ancient Ibriath course and the link for 506 The Curses course are in this video. If you can afford to and you want to support me, I'm Dr. Yasapa, and my work through Zion Law School, you can either subscribe to 101 Ancient Ibriath, enroll in 506 The Curses course. That's our live online class we do every Saturday. Or you can buy our books. We have lots of books that we publish and that we sell. Okay, so you can buy our books, or you can simply just give a donation, either one time or recurring. All right, one time or recurring. It's up to you, however you want to support us, if you so choose to, but it helps us greatly. So Appalachian Joel writes, Islam, Dr. Yasapa, love, light, and freedom. Islam, my brother, Shalom. These teachings are supreme importance. I could not agree with you more. Appalachian Joel. You know, I really, really believe that every Moorish man, woman, regardless of what nation in the empire we come from, we should know this topic about astrotheology. We should know it inside and out, because it's religion that has us trapped, right? Connotative linguistics and this belief system that got us all messed up, and we need to break through it, right? We need to break through it. Anyway, I think that's best done by everybody having a knowledge of these documents, right? So that they can make an intelligent choice on whether to believe them or not. And if they believe them or not, whether to stay in the religion or to run from the religion. So I'm right with you, Appalachian Joel. So we're gonna stop here, y'all. We're gonna come back tomorrow, pick up. Let me get the schedule. The schedule is all times are Eastern Standard Time. So Mondays, 9 p.m., Tuesdays, 10 p.m., Wednesdays, 10 p.m., Thursday, 10 p.m., Friday, 9 p.m., Saturday, 8 p.m., Sunday, 2 p.m., Sunday, 2 p.m., Monday, 9 p.m., Tuesday, 10 p.m., Wednesday, 10 p.m., Thursday, 10 p.m., Friday, 9 p.m., Saturday, 8 p.m. All times are Eastern Standard Time. I'm Dr. Yasapa, and I will see you all tomorrow for another lesson in astrotheology. Peace and love.